Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of Project Grand National. Not too long of a video today. Today I'm going to attack the rear seat, take out these sill plates, as much plastics as I can, and probably pull this carpet up. I'm kind of curious to see what is underneath there. Now, I did notice something with this shifter. So when you come here to shift these the interlock, so I just loosened the key there. But if you look at the shifter, you see that turns, but there's a little J hook in here. See? And this is missing something. So when you push up on the J hook, that is when you have the little shifter button. So the spring is broken, and there's a piece of the spring. So let's go over. I have a little better view of it. This one's at the car that I'm at. So let's look at that. Can you see the spring? Now when I'm pushing down, it comes right up, and that's what interlocks the detents. So you got reverse, neutral, and then going down, and then the cable. Now these cables are hard to come by in good shape. And the other thing guys have run into problems with, if you switch from a different transmission. So these cuts are for a 204R. So if you, let's say, put in another transmission like a 4L80E or a 400 or something like that, this plate, now it's you can change it out. I know some guys make these and sell them, but that's kind of not as easy to find them anymore. But that's kind of what you're dealing with. So I'm probably gonna move that spring over or find a replacement spring, because that other one looks like it's in a little better shape. Not that this is bad. There's no heavy corrosion or anything. So where I left off the other day with the seat belts, one thing that you want to do is when you gather these up, I wouldn't throw them all together in a box or bag, because there's tar on there, right? You see that? That's like sticky tar, a little on my finger. But what happens is you throw them in all together and it gets on the belts. This one's really sticky, right? You stick it on the belts. Now, it's not end of the world to get them off. You have to use you could use carb cleaner, brake cleaner, but it's best to just prevent that and store them correctly. I know the temptation to throw them in a box or a bag, keep them all together, is there, but just something to keep in mind. Okay, so to get this rear seat out, both those seat belts, buckles, need to be removed. So right here, it's under the tar paper. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push upwards from the bottom, because there's two hooks about there and there back on the under the package tray. So you're just going to push right up. So let's get in here. And be careful you don't scratch the car with the two bottom sharp pieces. Alright, so next step for these sill trim plates, you got 4 Phillips head screwdriver tips on there. Those are going to come out. and that'll allow you to pull out this plastic right here, and we'll go from there. Okay, we got the sill plates out of the way, and this is a problem that can be common with the Regals to be rusted out. So these are actually in beautiful shape. Stuff likes to rust here. Let's go look at the other side. Yeah, same. These are really nice. These are really nice. So you might see body filler in here, or patch panels, weld jobs, whatever. It's just, you know, part of the game with the car this old. So let's get started on removing this rear plastic right here. So there's 2 screws on this car that are missing. So you got one there and one there. These are very shallow screws. This is a single piece. You see that's moving on its own already. And then you have to take this seat belt cover off, and then there's the T47 below here. Now you see that one's blue, right? And that one is gray, right? Gray, blue. The reason that is if you try to pull this from the top, pry it down, it'll break. These things are pretty darn fragile. So I'll see about how we can show you getting that off. All right, we're gonna do this live too. I'm gonna risk breaking the blue one, so I want to replace that one anyway. So I got a couple of little different tools. Okay, I got a miniature screwdriver and a couple of pry tools. So let's see. I'll try with the. There we go. Miniature screwdriver, got it. And this is what it looks like in there. So, and we got our T47. All right, here we go. We'll get this out of the way. That pops right out. And I have my bag right here. This one was loose already. This one. You have one up here. While I'm here, I'm going to take the clothes hanger out, put it in the bag for safekeeping. Got our T47. Let's see if this gun will. Nope. These, I'm gonna leave these in here. So this will loosen up, and the seat belt, you would have to disattach it from the floor first, but we could take a sneak peek in there. And there's a T47 at the bottom here. This is your little latch. When you shut the door, it retracts the seat belt. So to take these upper sail panels off, they're captured by this rear trim, and This is metal, and it's pushed. There's some push fasteners that go up into the roof. I'll pause and we'll go over to the other car to show you something. But so these are captured up in there. These little clips are like pretty fragile. They're very brittle. It's like hard plastic. So let's take a sec. I'll look at the other car to see where they're located, and I have an example of one, I think, laying around. Okay, looking in at this other car, it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, and it pops up in there. Another one's hidden under this little piece of rubber here. Oh, right here. Let's put the light on. Let's see if that helps. There we go. There you go. One there. One there. And right there. So these, and I ask you to forgive me, I'm not a videographer and I don't have fancy editing equipment, but this is actually the front trim, and this is what the tab looks like, right? And this is also what the tab looks like after that middle fastening piece broke. So out of the 3 of these, 2 of them are broken. These are available. You might have to try some different vendors and stuff like that. So this is just one of the few clips that you're gonna have to get out and try. So let's do it. See if we could do it live. You could watch me break stuff live. So let me set up the camera. All right, let's try it. Few different tools that I can try. You can feel that. No, not really working. I'm pretty sure it'll bust one. The other thing you want to be careful of is bending this metal. If you lose patience, you could bend this metal, and then that's counterproductive. I feel it right there. I broke a couple of them. There's 2 down. All broken. Well, kind of. Get you guys over here. Of course, this is stuck. So, they both stayed up there, and that one broke in there too. So, but I didn't bend it. So I was pretty much expecting this, and you could expect the same with the front. The front is right up under there. It uses the same thing. I mean, I really wish they had use screws. I mean, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, just for your excitement too, there's another set of those right here. These are the same thing, right? So you have all four sides with these push type fiascos. Let's call them little fiascos. But I've been doing this for a while, so I know that goes with the territory on these. If you're ever gonna do a headliner replacement or whatever, just be anticipating to replace all of those clips and order them ahead of time. Okay, to show you up closer what the clips look like on over the doors, they look like that. These are a little easier to work with. So let me set up the camera and I'll show you exactly how to get these done. Okay, so with these, you want to get your pry tool, but you want to pull towards you. So this is the outside of the car. Pull towards you, and it releases. And then, like to put these up, you would they click right up like that. So. Okay, next thing we'll attack is that rear package tray while we're at it. And that's held down by that third brake light. So let me get in there and get that done. Now this, the bulb connector for this brake light is like super fragile. So you got one screw on either side. This will pop up, but this little plastic is so brittle, and it's not easy to get to. Let me see if I got my miniature screwdriver, and if I could get it out without breaking it. Alright. Oh, broke it. Broke it. I wasn't kidding. It's so fragile. It sucks. Other thing to talk about these is this is a great time. You could take this off. This is not a twist. We could get rid of that. Goodbye. Take these out and change the bulb. I would put a red LED in here. Thing is, I had a car one time that the brake switch failed and it had the brake lights on the whole time, and this thing got really hot and it kind of melted it. So not gonna make that a mistake again. So I'm gonna put in some red. I'll order some red LEDs. So the retainer for the light, two 10 millimeters. And I believe these are just, yeah, those are threaded bolts. This car is an 86, by the way, and this was the first year for the high mount brake light. So I'm going to put all this stuff together in the bag. And as for the package tray, it simply pulls up. And you want to be gentle with this too, because let's get this plastic out. And what's holding me up is these, oh boy, this tar paper was holding it up. Like I said, you want to be careful with this. You see, this is just fiberboard. I'll pause and I'll show you. I have another one that I reinforced. Okay, so I got, this is the one I just took out. As you could see, the sun faded and dirt. This is the one I had. Look how filthy it is. You don't got a lot of choice though. This one was broken. Like I said, super fragile. Super fragile. This is just so fragile. This one was broken there, so I used some fiberglass to reinforce it. I was going to reuse this. I mean, in all intents and purposes, it's still usable. You could probably get new carpet. This stuff is just sprayed on. You know, this is just sprayed on. But now that I got a nice one, I'll use this one. Maybe I'll reinforce it. I don't know. But they get chewed. Once these things get wet, too, it's kind of like game over. So really, real cheap design. All right. Okay, I cleaned up a little bit. My biggest challenge, honestly, is storing stuff as I'm taking it off in a safe area that is not going to get dirty. Right now, I'm putting it in the trunk of this car and the other car. So the next thing we're going to attack is this seatbelt retractor thing. So when you shut the door, this activates your seatbelt retraction and vice versa when it opens. So this is what it looks like going on there. All right. Very common. So when the door is closed, it holds, and when it opens, it retracts. Very common to see these broken. Where are we here? Very common to see these painted, and etc. So get these out. They're quite easy. Very shallow screws. Right, little tiny screws, and these just pull out like so. All right, and that is blue. Let me look at the other side. I think they're color coded. Let me check. Yeah, so the other side is a different color. They are left and right. So, that one, that's what it's doing on your seat. Let me get this one out, and so there we go. Yeah, they're color coded. Blue is passenger side and red is driver side. The other benefit of me making these videos is it's like keeping notes. So it helps me more than it helps you guys, actually. Cool. Last thing I'm gonna attack is I'd really like to end this episode with pulling the carpet to get a reveal on what's under here, what it looks like. So I'm gonna pull that out. That's the seatbelt tensioner. You got a T47 under there, and then the belt strings through this lower sail panel, okay? And this does fit through there if you remove that handle, that armrest. So there's two screws, one there, right? I am not going to do that. I'm leaving these intact, so I could just move it over, right? One less step. These are in great shape. The ones I had are pretty sorry, so I'm just gonna pop those off. We'll do that off camera. This is very straightforward, nothing crazy. Okay, I got those tensioners out, and then the last step would be for your seatbelt anchor at the bottom. Right, see, it goes like this. If you're ever putting in new carpet, you know, you want these, you want to cut a little thing like that, right? And then your bolt is under there. So let's pull this back and see what we're dealing with. Oh, look, some body sanding pads. This car had a full paint job, by the way. Let's This is original carpet, by the way. This thick rubber. That's kind of the reason for the demise of these floors. Is once liquid gets under them, looks like they put a little glue. But oh yeah, I could feel a little bit of moisture there. These are notorious for holding water. You leave the window open one time, you spill something, it's curtains, you know. I'm not gonna pull this carpet out all the way. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's some plastic from the factory protection. But in order for you to pull the carpet, I'm gonna take this shifter out. It's just four bolts, but I'll leave that for tomorrow. Good place to stop. I appreciate you watching. If you could like, subscribe, comment, ask questions. I'll answer your questions either in the comments, or I'll address it in a video so everyone could learn stuff. So thanks and have a great day. Ooh, I just realized I'm upside down. So sorry, guys. So sorry. Yeah. Again, I'm not a videographer. So have a great day. Hope to see you next time.